It is common in a traditional African home that the woman is fully responsible for all household chores, like cooking, washing dishes, taking care of children, among others, while the man takes care of the financial responsibility of the home. Even in some instances where both the man and the woman are working, this is still practice. But I must say that things are changing, especially with the current generation of African families. Some men are getting involved when it comes to these household chores, and so are women when it comes to financial obligations. The family setup in an African society puts the man above the woman and places the responsibility of taking care of the man, the children, and the home on the woman. This is quite the opposite in a current Swedish society, which is based on the principle of equality, meaning everyone is supposed to be equal when it comes to relationship, family, and so on. And it does not matter whether you are a man or a woman. Ruhia Mahama is a student of social work and human rights at the University of Gothenburg in Sweden. She says that the informal support, like help from family and friends that are available in African societies, sometimes makes it easier for women to take responsibility of the home by themselves. She says because such informal support is not available in Sweden, it becomes difficult for families that come, especially from African societies, to adapt to the system in Sweden because the roles of the family must either change or renegotiated. She says there's rather a job to be done, and the two partners should share responsibilities to make the home function.
There's no man or woman's job. There's a job to be done. So they should focus on what they have to do as a family to adjust to where they live now. Maybe the woman can cook, but then the man is at home with the kids when the woman is away. Then he can heat the food and give it to them. If he knows how to cook as well, he can cook for them. There's really no fast rule to this, but it's just understanding yourselves as a couple. So everybody's collaborating together in the family, and the kids are also doing stuff on their own, to make the family system to function.
She says that same goes to payment of bills. That if the woman is capable, then she should take up responsibility as well. The population of Ghanaians in Sweden is about 3,500. And so I'm curious to know how Ghanaians live, especially when it comes to finances and household chores. Do they practice what is normally done in Ghana, or they share responsibilities as is common practice in Sweden? Mike Adojilogo lives with his family in Gothenburg. He says he helps at home in taking care of the children and in cooking. He believes that although members of the family should support each other, the responsibilities at home should not be shared.
As a father, I'm the head of the house, but it doesn't mean my wife and my kids are mates. So I help. Sometimes, they go to, the elder one goes to school, the mother works, maybe I start work late. So I have to take care of the younger ones. Bath them, take them to school, or feed them, take them to school. Yeah, and even sometimes I cook.
He holds the same belief when it comes to paying bills and other expenses at home. He says it should not be shared.
When she feels like she has money, she wants to help with the bills. Yeah, she does that. But I don't give her exact amount. No, if the bill is 2,000, so you have to pay 800 or whatever. No, when she has money, she can help me pay the bills.
Franklin Amwakwa-Mensah and his wife Salome Amwakwa-Mensah are a young couple living in Gothenburg. And like Logo, Franklin says that there is no assigned role in his home and that everyone does what he or she is supposed to do.
We actually don't have an outlined roles, right? But most of the times what I do is help in tidying up the house. And what I also do is I'm very good when it comes to the putting things in the dishwasher, right? I'm able to arrange a lot of items in the dishwasher. So I always want to make sure that it's well arranged and we are able to economize in terms of space. I feel comfortable doing all those stuff.
When it comes to taking care of expenses, Franklin says that it's his responsibility to take charge of key expenses at their home.
We were brought up in a Christian home, right? And we know that the man is the head of the household and the lady is a helpmate. So there are key expenses which, no matter what, I'm supposed to be responsible. Right? The fact that the lady is working doesn't mean that she is to do it. Right? So I take charge of the key expenses, everything. And if the money is finished, I go to her for help.
He sees it as unfair for husbands to require their wives to contribute financially while they leave all household chores to the woman.
If you say that you are from a Christian home and you are claiming that you are head of the family, right? Then when it comes to household chores, you want the lady to do it because she's a lady. But when it comes to finances, you want to share equally. Right? Then it's more of you being hypocrite. Right? That's the thing. So if you are claiming to come from an African background, in Africa, men are responsible financially.
The man is the head of the family. It's a phrase that has been mentioned in this report more than once, and it is commonly used in many African traditional and religious societies. There are actually some references in the Bible that says that the man is the head of the woman. One such verse is Ephesians 5:23, which says, "For the husband is the head of the wife, even as Christ is the head of the church." Many have interpreted this to mean that the head of the family does nothing at home in terms of household chores. I asked Bismarck Nayobuama, the presiding elder of the Church of Pentecost in Gothenburg, on what it means to be the head of the family. And this is what he said.
Emphatically, the Bible has said it, that you have to be the provider of the family. So that makes the man to be the head of the family. And everything that the woman plans, she always comes to the man that I suggest this. It means the final decision has to be taken by the man.
He says the role of the man as the head of the family does not mean that he should leave all work in the house for the woman.
There is nothing bad at all about it. When you have the chance to cook whilst your wife is also doing other things, not necessarily that you are being the head of the family, so you have to sit down and look at the woman to do all things. The woman will get tired and you yourself will not be happy, because maybe the time that you want to talk or to have a conversation with your wife, the wife is tired, she will be sleeping.
Back to Franklin and Salome's home. Salome says that growing up as a child, she had always questioned why there was so much demand on the woman of the house to take responsibilities of all household chores.
It's something I've always been wondering, all right, that why is mommy always doing this and that is not doing so much. Right? It's just like this song we used to play, sing and play games. Mommy in the kitchen cooking rice water, daddy in the sitting room watching TV, For example, when you go to church or go out and you come back, everyone is tired. And then you're asking, when is the food going to be ready? I'm also tired. So it's something that has always been in my mind.
She says her childhood questions are being answered now through the setup of her new home.
My family now, me and my husband, is answering this question. Thank God I have a man like him who also doesn't have a problem doing some of the chores.
Concerning financial contribution in the home, Salome says she feels proud that she can at last contribute to taking care of the expenses of the home.
So for 2 years when I came to Sweden, I wasn't working, so everything was on his shoulders. So after I got my money, right, it was a joy for me to help, right? It felt like a burden had been lifted off me, that he's the one doing all this thing. He's taking care of me, he's taking care of the home. Now I feel like, I can do something. Like I am now fully a part of this.
Some families have equal share of financial and household responsibilities. This, Salome says, is something she wouldn't want to do.
I don't like things like that. Otherwise, I would follow it strictly. Let's say we are going to do this 50-50. If you don't do your part, don't expect me to do it. Otherwise, you pay me for doing it.
One question is, how would, for example, a typical African family moving to or living in Sweden be able to adapt to an environment where there is no defined role for a man or a woman, where there is almost equal share in everything? To find this answer, I spoke with Ijeoma Uba, a lawyer and a Christian counselor who lives in Sweden. She says it all depends on the dynamics of the home.
There's no blanket answer, because I've seen homes where the man is really, really involved in the home. He knows that, okay, if my wife comes back, she's going to be tired. And I don't want her to be so tired for me. I just want her to be, to be happy and all that. So the man helps. It doesn't make them less of a man. And I've seen homes, the women are also helping in paying the bills in the home.
She says that some other homes have a clear divided roles on who does what.
And there are some homes, the women are not helping at all. They say it's your job to go and to look for money. Helping in the sense of helping in the bills and all that. So it's your job to go look for the money, and mine is to make sure that there's food in the house. It's clearly divided. The woman, even though she's working, even though she's working, she's not contributing anything to the house. The money is for her. The husband has to bring money to run the house. She accepted, okay, I will cook, I will clean, I will wash, I will do everything. Your food will be ready, everything will be ready, but you make the money and bring it to the house.
She says it's unfair for one party to insist on a shared responsibility in one area and then expect that only one person takes full responsibility of another area.
It will not be fair that probably the man is at home or works from home, or his job is not that tasking. He comes in early and all that. And then he's just watching TV, waiting for the wife to come back late, and then start preparing the food and then giving him food and that kind of a thing. And at the end of the month, still help to pay the rent.
Here in Sweden, the man and the woman are seen as two halves of a whole, and not the woman as the helper of the man, as taught in many religious and traditional settings. And in all, the best way for families who need to adapt to the Swedish system is by deciding which one works for them. My name is Simon Boyne.